Hey now, it's Little Paulette without the gang. I am here back with the recap for Our Kind of People, Season 1, Episode 3, Hot Links and Red Drinks, Part 2 recap. How everybody doing? I still got a sore throat, but I'm still going to do these videos because I want to crank them out. And I hope that I'm getting people who never watched the show to watch the show. And I hope everybody's having a happy 420. All right, let's get right into it. Please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell for new videos. Do all of that. Please. I'm just kidding. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Thank you. They show a cell phone and they show the name Jack coming across the screen. And then they show Leah closing the phone like, I ain't got time for this. But she's getting ready for her party. And she's telling them that these roses are too red. I'm sorry, too pink. They're not red enough because her mother likes like this certain like shade of pink that's more red than pink, or more a certain shade of red, one of them or whatever. So she's telling them that she needs them to look the way she wants them to look, and told her son to get up, and he chilling like most boys do at the pool instead of helping out. Lauren and her dad make it around to the back of the pool, and the brother's like, look who got emancipated, upon on it being Juneteenth. So Leah tells Lauren that she needs to go get cleaned up because she invited press there so they could take a family photo for the event. Is called Red and Black on the Green. That's what it's called for Juneteenth. And Lauren is like, Ma, why? She's like, Leah's like, we got to put up a united front. And Leah was like, because my mother started this tradition. They passed the roles from the older generation to the younger generation, and it represents the bloodshed through their roche of freedom. And it also represents how they transform that trauma into strength. Pretty dope, right? That's Leah's mother, Mama Rose. Yeah, the Gramercies. No, the Gracities. The Gracities. That's what they're called. And she said to Lauren, if anyone needs transformation right now, it's you. So I'm going to need you to go on in there and get cleaned up for this nice little photo op. Make it look like everything is doing fine because you just got out on bail. The whole town knows about it. Let's do this. Leah said to Lauren, you might be out on bail, but Taylor hasn't dropped the charges. And of course she looked, mad or whatever, which I don't get why. And the brother is like grabbing the sister, like, oh, whoa, whoa, like, trying to stop it before something bad, before they start getting into it. And then Raymond, the father, comes up and says, at some point, you're going to have to realize that what you're doing isn't working. I don't know what she's supposed to do. Like, she's right. The charges weren't dropped. My puppy's acting up. So Raymond was like, so I got to get down to the office. What you going to do? What time you going to be there? Blah, blah, blah. Because Angela has an appointment to do her interview for the incubator program. And she looks like, you gave her an interview? And he was like, yeah, is there a problem? And she was like, that's not a choice I would have made. And he looked at his clock, his watch, and he's like, well, I'm glad I made the call. Yes, y'all, I went way back. I love it. Tyree is contracting up in Angela's salon. He up on the ceiling fixing stuff and drilling and stuff. And Angela looking all cute. She dressed in a red power suit. Red, that's the kind of suit you want to wear when you go for like an interview. Ladies, just so you know. And they set a date to go to a Juneteenth celebration later on. He told her to dress comfortable. Angela said, I could use some red drinks and hot links. So it cuts to Angela at the incubator interview, and Leah's in there, and she says, let's cut to the obvious elephant in the room, your packaging. And Angela's like, oh, that's my mother's image. And she's like, well, you could make a lot more money at a higher price point if you did a more upscale, or I think she might have said sleek packaging. And then Angela was, still talking about how her mom didn't think she was beautiful, etc. And then Leah says some shit like, unless you like ghetto swap meet or something like that. And it's a picture of her mother, like with swirly afros. I'm gonna see if I can get a picture of it for you guys to see. And Angela's like, well, this country has over 11 million flea markets and swap meets, and they generate about 30 million plus dollars a year. And in case you're unaware, a ghetto is a neighborhood where oppressive systems work to disenfranchise and empower black, brown, red, poor, indigenous people, period. And those are the same people that's been buying Eve's crown for years. And I won't leave them behind, which Angela already knew. This was all a setup. That's why she did this, so she could say no, heifer.
Right.
And she don't want to change the packaging, the price, or nothing, leave them behind. And Leah's just like, right. Like I said, she knew this, so this was like bait for her, so she could say no. Well, it's a no from me, Raymond, until she learns to take critique. That wasn't critique. That was shame. That was shade. All of that wasn't critique. The only thing good in there was when you talked about the profit margin. Other than that, like the way you said it and stuff, you was trying to shame her in front of all those other board members, and it was messed up. And they have to go outside to their car, and guess what? They run into each other. And Leah was like, oh, I hope you understand. I push all the incubator applicants like that. Y'all know my lips is up, right? Yeah, had to do way back on her. Talking about it's nothing personal. Angela said, how can it be personal? I'm no one to you, right? I'm no one. And she was like, no one at all. Happy Juneteenth. Getting this little cute little white car. And Angela starts singing, freedom, freedom, freedom over me. Ugh, I know I sound terrible, y'all. And she's giggling and stuff, and Leah is in a convertible. So Angela's like right up on her or whatever. And she says, thank you for your feedback or whatever, and you have a happy, Juneteenth as well. And Leah's really looking at her strange, because she ain't nice. But Angela is. And then she says, sis. And as she's walking away, she's singing, before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave. But she is keying Leah's car as she's walking away, keying that white car. And it's probably a Mercedes or a Porsche or something. It's something dope. It's a convertible. It's dope, though. But she didn't key it up. Angela gets on Instagram talking to her followers. She asked them if it's a good idea to change. Do they think it's a good idea to change the packaging, or if they don't? Leah is ear hustling, eye hustling on her Instagram, watching her do her live. I guess I'm gonna say stalking. That's what I'm gonna call it. Raymond goes into Teddy's office and tells him that how good the meeting went with Angela for the incubator program. I think that's pretty interesting. And Teddy's like, Angela Vaughn applied, and he was like, yeah, like she's doing good, and she wants to build, a legacy for her family. And he's like, speaking of family, he want to bring up his company. Like, he want to talk to Teddy, like, what's up, nigga? I want, you know what I'm saying? Ninja, I want my company back. You know what I'm saying? What's up? And Teddy started laughing, right? He's crazy. Talking about, we've discussed this. Doing that handshake like Alderman Davis saying. And Raymond is like, let's discuss it again. And Raymond is like, with all the way the company's going and everything, we're on track to pay you back all the rest of the bailout money. But the only problem is that you locked me out of the books. Like, why is that? And he gonna say, they always say that women marry their fathers, but not in Leah's case. Talking about, you and I are different. I never would have agreed to the bailout. I never would have given my company away to another man. See, that's because he ain't loyal to nobody but his damn self. Who think that their father-in-law is going to steal their company from them if they say they coming to help them? Not many people. But I guess he didn't know him like he thought he knew him then, huh? Talking about, maybe that's the Q dog in me. And your ask, as polite as it was, is still a nope. Or nup or some mess he said. He is crazy. You see where Leah get it from. That's why I be saying the apple don't fall far from the tree when it come to Leah. He gonna say, Darman, and the books are mine until the bailout is finished. And Raymond was like, stepped up in his face and was like, the thing about us pretty boys is we might look weak, but we carry a strong cane. Because Teddy was laughing in his face, right? But he wasn't laughing after Raymond said that. Leah goes to see her mother, and her mother is sitting there looking like she on Thorazine or something, all drugged out, like she can't lift her own head and lift her arms up. She couldn't even lift her arms up like a zombie or something. And Leah's talking to her about her mother's ceremony, that the one that her mother started, that they're gonna have tomorrow. And she kind of hands her mother the rose that she has in her hand. Yeah, Leah recites this poem that her mother taught her, I guess when they give the rose away or whatever. And she tells her mother, remember how everybody was so excited to always come to your party every year? And it goes to a flashback when she was little. And you can see her mother has some type of emotional issues, or maybe mental issues, or both. Because all of a sudden, like, she's reciting the poem. Liz, like, maybe 10 or 12, and she's helping, and she just starts yelling and pulling a piece of the rose off. No, that rose is still too pink. And Leah's like, Mommy, you're bleeding. And then they show her hands, and you could tell she must have been squeezing the roses where she got blood spots all over her place, I guess where the thorns went. And then next thing you know, she's like, help, Mommy. And her and Leah start picking him up real quick. And she, like, fast. And she turns around and she says, Teddy. And Teddy's standing there. And he's like, with like a guy, I guess it's a doctor. He has on like a white coat or whatever. And she looks scared. And then another one comes behind him. And then the first doctor has like a needle in his hand. And he puts it in his mouth to pop it open. And she's like, wait, no. And you can see he's coming to like give her a shot. And he gives her the shot, and she's screaming, no, I have to get ready for Juneteenth. And Leah's a little girl, and she's crying, no, Mommy, like, leave my mom alone, basically. And they're taking her mother away, and she's like, what are you doing? And they're taking the mother away, and Teddy's just looking at her, and Leah's like, Mommy. And they take the mother out the room, and Teddy's just looking. And this ninja gonna crouch down to her while she crying and say, Leah, we will not talk about this. Mommy's broken. And brokenness is a weakness. And weakness is powerlessness. Or something to that effect, he said. Papa Pope in his young days. I gotta stop calling him that. Teddy Franklin acting a damn ass. And little Leah repeats it. Weakness is powerlessness. Already training her. Comes back to Leah talking to her mother about, she knew that, she found out, now I know what daddy did to you, having a baby with another woman. I don't know how, I could never get over something like that. Mother still looking all drugged out, but she understands what Leah's saying. You could tell. And Leah's like telling her mom, I don't know how to be completely honest in my marriage because I saw how exposed you are in yours. It's so sad that Leah tries to hand her that rose, and she lifts her fingers up to get it because she can't lift her hand up. And Leah's not even paying attention. She's holding it in front of her for like 5 seconds. And then when her mother finally gets her hand up to grab it, she kind of moves her fingers around. Leah's like, oh, you know what? I'm going to put it right here on this little table that was next to her mom because she's not really paying attention. Make me just want to cry. So she puts the rose in the vase, and then she tells her mom, why don't I finish, fixing your hair? And of course, when she goes to the table to grab the stuff for her hair, which is right next to her mother, it's a bottle of Eve's Crown. So I'm going to stop it here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell if you want to know when a new video comes out. And thank you guys so much for liking, for watching. And again, happy 420. This is part 2. Is this part 2? It's part 2 or 3. I'm starting to forget, but I think it's part 2. See you guys soon for part 3.